Hey, it's LSFD here today, and today we're here to look at the refresh of the NX. Yes, nothing has been provided on the refresh yet. Everybody is speculating that the 2026 LEXUS NX will be the refresh year. No news on that yet, but I think a lot of people have been talking about what is on their wish list. And in this video, I'm talking about their wish list because I'm going to pull the information that has been provided by a bunch of LEXUS NX owners and really looking at what do they like to change, because they're real owners. They will probably have what will make this car even better. So this is a 4-part series. The first one is interior, the second one is exterior, the third one is infotainment, and all 3 of those series are complete. So if you want to watch them, I'm going to have a link on those videos here. And then this video is talking about features. And if you like this type of content, remember to subscribe and like this video so that you can actually get notified when new videos show up. We've talked about interior, exterior changes, and also infotainment air conditioning changes, but what is features? Features could just mean things that are in the car and you want them changed, or features that are not available in the NX but available on other vehicles that owners have owned previously. So definitely a lot of discussions here, and definitely not as easy to implement. Some of these could be software updatable, which means that it could be introduced to existing owners, but some of these features may require new sensors or hardware that would mean that existing owners will never see it on their Lexus and only see this in a refreshed NX. The first one, and probably the one I've seen the most, Walkaway auto lock. So meaning when you close, like when you turn off the car, you close the door, the car detects the keys going away, further away from the vehicle, and the car automatically locks. It's not as simple as that. The first thing is they need to ensure that there's no occupants in the car. The second thing is they have to ensure that there's no key fobs in the car. And then they have to ensure that when you are far away, or either the key has lost connection to the car, it would automatically lock. On top of that, this probably could be done by a software update, because I think it's just purely a software thing, that they have all the sensors, all the hardware that is needed to be able to do this. And then they have to also include this to a digital key. How does that work? But I think a lot of Lexus owners are used to just touching the door handle, but I think the younger generation would want this to be done automatically. This next one is simple. It's adding sound to the door locks, so you don't have to look at the light to confirm that you've actually locked the door. Again, I think this is getting used to it, right? Because a lot of the cases in the old cars, when there's actually a knob, it will then have a sound thump that it will actually say your door is locked. But in the new NX, there's no sound at all. You have to look at that little light, and if it's turned on, it's locked. I think it's good, but I would say there needs to be a configuration so you can personalize it so that if you want the sound, you can turn it on. If you don't want the sound, just have it off, like it is today. When you actually give customers the capability to go and do their own personalization, I think that's where you'll get a lot of satisfaction. The next one's related to parking assist. What they want is they want to be able to get a beep or something when the side mirrors are about to contact an object. So we know that we have front parking sensors with the rear parking sensors, but really there's no sensors on the sides. So you can easily swipe something or your side mirrors will hit your garage door, and yes, there'll be scratches. So I think that's what the ask is to be able to get a more like they'll beep when you actually side mirrors will hit something. There are a few things that could be done here. Additional sensors could be added to the side mirrors so that if it does do that, it automatically folds, or whatever can happen is It can actually beep you, warn you, so that if you still insist, you'll hit it, you'll scratch it. But again, more expensive side mirrors already. These side mirrors are not cheap already. With the panoramic view monitor, with the camera there, it's already like very expensive side mirrors. Then on top of it, if you actually have the panoramic view monitor, maybe they can do what Tesla does with their autopilot. The camera image will actually detect objects and then be able to warn you. So that way, if you have the panoramic view monitor, you have the 360 cameras, maybe it could be a software thing. But if you don't, then you're out of luck. But unlikely Lexus will offer that as an upgrade, that they can introduce new features to the vehicle. The next one is dog mode. Allows remote start for longer periods of time and have an inside camera view of the cabin. So right now when you do a remote start, it's funny that on paper they say it will start for 10 minutes, but from my experience it's 20 minutes. And after that it will automatically turn off the vehicle. So what the person is asking for is they have the remote start function, like a dog mode, where it can run for as long as it can, and then also have an inside camera so that I can actually monitor the dog when it's like in remote start position. One thing that you probably don't want is them chewing on the seats and all that, right? But I guess that's what the owner is asking for. What do you think? I'm not a dog owner, so to me, I think this probably should just be an option that they can add on. This next one is, I think, very, very, very common for most owners. A lot of people do not like those run flat tires. And even though they have run flat tires, they still want a spare tire. So there has been people who's actually gone and got the modern spare tire and put them in the trunk when they actually go off like to longer roads. But the purpose of the run flat tires were so that you don't need the space, or you don't have to carry the weight that you don't need the tire for. But then I understand that yes, some people don't feel comfortable with not having a spare tire, especially if you live in a place where you're in the countryside. Not many stores have run flat tires, have the right size, and it becomes a problem. So with that being said, a lot of people are asking for a spare tire. And I know the NX250, you do have a spare tire. It's only the other 350, 350H, and 450H Plus. It's a little bit awkward to put a spare tire because the 12-volt battery is in the compartment and they have to find a way to squeeze all that. I think it is possible in some ways. What they need to really look at is if they do upgrade the generation of the hybrid system, if the components are smaller, maybe they can rejig things and be able to fit a spare tire in the trunk. With that being said, I know some people appreciate the run flat tires and will continue to use run flat tires, and some, after the run flat tires go, they'll be switching to normal tires, probably a tire repair kit, or a spare tire is going to be great. But unfortunately, if you put a spare tire in today's world, you're going to lose some trunk space. It is what it is. The next one is a window smash sensor. It's funny because I've seen cases where in previous generation Lexus vehicles, they actually do have window smash sensors. But for whatever reason, that has been removed for a lot of cases. Either there's a lot of false alarms, or because vehicle thefts have become a lot less and there wasn't a need for it, cutting costs. I know in some areas they do have sensors for like being able to, if the car gets tilted, it will charge an alarm, and you have to turn off if you actually go onto a boat. But in North America, those features are all not there. So with that being said, the front passenger and driver window is a lot harder to smash because it's a dual pane glass, but the rear ones are a lot easier to smash. So with that being said, I think it makes sense to add more security to it because it is critical nowadays, especially where I live in the Greater Toronto area. Car thefts are crazy. So with that being said, that is what they're asking for, a window smash sensor. All right, the next one is 360 camera that records like a dash cam. So I reported this on the 2025 NX in Japan, and it does look like they offer such technology. I just don't know, is it related to like privacy issues or what it is, but I think that is not hard to implement. Especially if you actually have the panoramic view monitor, you have all the 4 cameras, it's not hard to do. But if the car does not have the panoramic view monitor and only has the rear view camera, then that one is a little bit harder to do. Unless they have this panoramic view monitor as standard, which I doubt they will, because even in the higher trims, it's almost at the top trim where you get the panoramic view monitor. So with that being said, they want to be able to have, like Teslas and other vehicles, where the cameras are your dash cam. And I think that makes sense. No need to go and plug another dash cam in. But at this point, most people will have to install their own dash cam if they wanted a dash cam. So the next one is really related to owners who have the 450h Plus, like myself. So the ask is more plug-in hybrid battery EV range. So meaning being able to drive more than the 60-ish kilometers or 37 miles. It will be great to actually get like 100 kilometers or 100 miles, and that I think 100 miles will be plenty. There's a few things that they need to do, right? Reduce battery weight or reduce the size of the battery so they can actually squeeze more into it, or let the car to be more efficient, driving it more efficient. Toyota Lexus has said that their goal is to produce 100, I don't know if it's 100 kilometers, 100 miles, but being able to drive a longer EV range, and that probably would solve most of the problems on like even using the gas. Like this will be the BEV. But unfortunately, then what does that mean with your gas engine? If you're driving 100 kilometers, maybe you don't even need the gas engine a lot, right? Then how do you lubricate it? So software is critical so that the car will actually automatically lubricate the engine when needed. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX 450h Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, share it with your friends. This definitely will help with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, or visit my Amazon storefront before you purchase anything from Amazon, and or you can purchase products from the list on the items that I've been using with my vehicle or at home at no extra cost to you. And now let's continue with the video. The next one is related to even one more step of electrification. So right now we have the NX250, which is a pure gas only, 350, which is a gas turbo. We have the 350h, which is a hybrid, and we have the 450h Plus, which is the plug-in hybrid. So what is the next step? The next step is a BEV. So having the option for an NX to be a EV, which probably would give you like an 85 kilowatt hour battery, giving it like an NX 500E. Remember, we actually saw trademarks of the ES 500E. So it is possible, which means they just need a bigger battery. They don't have a gas engine, so they can move things around and hopefully be able to actually fit a battery into the vehicle that can actually drive between 400 to 500, even 600 kilometers. That would be great. And the next one, also related to powertrain, NX 500H. So not a H plus. So they're looking at getting like the RX 500H into the NX. This one, I would say, I'm not too sure if Lexus will do that. The reason why is if they do introduce the NX500H, it's too close to the RX. The overlap of the RX and NX is just too little. Right now, the 450H Plus is available on both. The only difference is really the RX is bigger, a little bit more quieter, and also they have this 500H Direct 4 vehicle. If they do introduce that into the NX, I'm not too sure what's the value of having two vehicle models that are very similar. Just difference is size and a little bit more quieter. Alright, I'm going to combine the next two. The next two is related to refueling or recharging. So what they're looking for is capless fuel fill and also changing the cap of the charging cover. So you don't have to pull it out and let it hang there. So both are very similar, just one's for gasoline and one is for electrons. So what they're looking for is you open the gas filler, and then you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just shove the gun in and then you refuel. Or when you actually go charge, you open the charge port, you just plug in the charger in and you're done. No need to actually go and pull those extra caps, and that will be great. I think it's a convenience item, but definitely not a bad idea. And the last one we've got here is better quality control. I think there are people seeing squeaks in their NX, and I would say some of this is sometimes very hard to figure out. But definitely, we should not be hearing squeaks in a Lexus. It doesn't matter if it's a UX, NX, or the LS or LX. They all should be very solidly built. No squeaks. I just don't know if it's related to the Canadian built ones, or we're also hearing squeaks in the Japanese built ones as well. Some of it could be just adding more padding. Some of it could have just been cutting costs. So that's why they've reduced some padding. Usually in a refresh, Lexus will do something. That's what they did in the first generation NX. The first generation NX was like 2014, 2015. Up to 2017, it was a little bit noisy. In the 2018, they added more insulation. They did a little bit more tuning, and it actually made the NX a little bit quieter. So I think this one probably would happen. But then squeaks is something that I think it's not everybody will experience the same thing. And that is where we're going to see a challenge. But definitely, I hear you all. There should not be any squeaks on a Lexus. So there we have it. All the features that current owners want on an NX. And again, this is just a list that I've captured. Doesn't mean this is for every owner that's on this planet. What I would say is if you are a current owner and you have other ideas or things that you would like to see on the Refresh NX, and that will make you actually want to upgrade your car and get a new one, leave it in the comments below, because I think that is critical. And I do hope that Lexus engineers, Lexus designers will actually be looking at the comments and thinking, oh, this actually would be a good idea, and it will actually improve satisfaction of their customers. So this wraps up the 4-part series of the 2026 question mark, or you can say the new generation refreshed NX whenever Lexus decides to release this. What I'll be doing is I have this list, and then when they do announce the refresh, I will see how much of this was addressed and how much just fall through the cracks, and hopefully in the 3rd generation NX we will see these improvements. I hope that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.